Hey, what's good everyone? Welcome to Ice Rink Diaries, Local Iceman here. And today I got a special treat for you. A few months back, Zamboni sent me this filter bag that goes in the wash water system. If you guys are familiar with the wash water system, there's a basket that's used to filter out all the gunk and stuff that gets washed out by the wash water system. And in that basket itself, sometimes it gets clogged with ice. And to be honest, that only really happens if you don't have your blade down far enough and you're sucking snow underneath the blade into your wash water system. Zamboni explained to me that this is better so your snow doesn't build up in that wash water basket and cause it to clog. And not only is it supposed to prevent that, it's supposed to filter more out of your wash water. So what we have here basically, let me step back here a little bit. There's two things here. There's a more finer bag, and these things are replaceable. I'll leave links in the description below, the part numbers, as well as how much it costs. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna install this, show you guys where it goes. I'm gonna use it a few times, kind of let you guys know what my opinion is on it. So what happens here is this bag, I kind of thought that this hooks to your wash water basket or to that little hose. That hook goes into the wash water tank. But no, it's a little metal mesh thing here. So you slip this into your wash water tank. You remove the basket, you don't use the basket. I asked Don if you're supposed to use the basket with this, and he said no, the basket, that's where you got onto the snow clogging up the basket and clogging the flow. You'd really use this in lieu of the basket. So you stick this thing in, then I'm under the impression that, I'm not really sure what the handle is for. Maybe it's to take it in and out easier. That's kind of why I thought it kind of hooked on something. This little mesh bag right here is a little bit less fine. It used to be a little tag here that got ripped off. It just slips right in there. It's not, it's not very complicated. But when how Don explained it, when it was time to replace things, I guess it's so cheap that replace them both. I didn't really ask how much it is. Again, I'll get that for you. I was in the impression you just replace this one. Maybe you can just replace this one and leave this one in there, because when this one gets all gunked up, you can't really clean it. I believe that you could probably take this out and rinse it out like you're supposed to do with your wash water basket. I guess one thing that, if snow does get in the hair, it's just gonna fall down and the water itself is gonna melt. So this is not gonna prevent snow from getting into your wash water system. The snow is gonna still get in here. It's just gonna fall down into your wash water and melt. And that's the advantage of this over the basket. All right, first, the two big differences in these bags. The top one here, that one's going to be your 200 micron filter bag. And the bottom one, that's your 400 micron filter bag. Now, I got the impression you could use one or the other. I could be wrong. But Don said for best results, you want to stick to 400 inside the 200. You also want to say that the 200 micron filter bag is much harder to clean. As you can see here by the picture, how dirty it gets. You're not really going to be able to clean that. But the 400 micron filter bag, that's going to be much easier to clean. As far as the cost on these things, they're about $7 each, so $14 for the pair. And I think in the long run, it's more expensive than your traditional wash water basket, which I think is about $65 to replace. And that basket will last you many years if you keep it clean. But if you're looking for cleaner wash water and to filter the stuff off your ice better, this is the way to go. But without further ado, let's go ahead and set the camera up over there. We'll take the wash water basket out, we'll slide this thing in, then I'll probably give a couple of views when I'm operating on the ice, then we'll come back at the end and wrap it up. All right, there's the wash water basket right there. I don't know if you guys do, but I felt this helpful is to put the hose clamps on this hose right here, because sometimes when you turn your wash water on, there's a big rush of water and it pops it off. But having the hose clamps on it prevents it from popping off when you turn your wash water on. The reason why I say that is I'm gonna have to take that off, because I may only have to use one of them. All right, probably time to clean this basket out anyway. As you can see, this is what comes up in the wash water basket. Some board shavings from the edger and a lot of fibers. I think that's mostly from people's gear. There's a little decorative necklace little thing in there. But mostly it's fibers and hair. This thing's falling on the ice. So we'll go ahead and toss this to the side. I've washed that out to use it at a later date. I'd say that wash water's getting a little bit dirty. I don't know. So let's go ahead and slide this in here. Yeah. And it's got a wire rim around each one of these, I don't want to call it a basket, filter bags, that it's not going to fall in. I just assume you stuck this around this little nozzle right here. But I think Don also mentioned that this stuff, these little handles get caught on stuff. So you want to make sure that these cloth handles are out of the way. All right. There we go. All right, that wasn't too tough. I think that's better on the outside, but I think them being up here puts them out of the way of the flow. So what I may do is when I film it, I'm gonna take this off so we can see in there. I can show you how it looks like. I mean, it's not gonna be very dramatic or anything. All right, so what we'll do is we'll go out and do the ice. I'll show you how this wash water works, how the basket works. We'll come back and take a look at it. So the verdict on the wash water basket here, again, you know, I'm sure it's gonna work great and much better than the original basket. I can see this collecting more stuff, and I don't think I'm gonna have to flush the wash water tank as much as I used to. A couple times a month I let it overflow, and all the stuff kind of works its way over to the overflow and out. So a lot of that crap that makes it through the basket, I think that this is gonna prevent from going through. I didn't really put this thing on right here. I thought about putting it back on, but for now I'm going to leave it off. I mean, this thing is really meant for if you get snow sucked up in there and it starts piling up and water starts shooting at you. So since the snow is going to drop down in there, I don't see this being a huge problem as far as needing that. But I'll see about putting it on later if I have to. I guess one thing with this wash water filter here, I guess I'll be more likely to use my wash water system when the ice hasn't been cut up. Again, if you're not digging that blade down, you're getting a lot of snow that gets underneath the blade and it's sucked up into this wash water basket. But since all the snow that does get sucked up is just going to fall right into the water and melt away, I kind of see me using the wash water system even when the ice is not as beat up. Because even when the ice is not beat up or cut up, it still helps wash the ice out, kind of helps create a smoother sheet of ice. And I mean, I personally can tell a difference when someone's used to wash water or not. The ice just looks more shiny and glossy. I don't know, it just makes a better sheet of ice. Alright, that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching. And as always, I hope you learned something. And like the local ice man says, stay cool.